Thanks for staying with us here on The Pulse. Now, to other stories, President of the ECOWAS Commission, Dr. Omar Toure, has raised alarm over the rapid expansion of terrorist activities across West Africa, warning that the threat has now spread beyond the Sahel and Lake Chad Basin to endanger the entire sub-region. Speaking in New York during a United Nations Security Council discussion on strengthening regional cooperation against terrorism in West Africa and the Sahel, Dr. Toure revealed that early warning mechanisms recorded 450 terrorist attacks and close to 2,000 deaths in 2025 alone.
Initially confined to the Sahel and the Lake Chad Basin regions, today it poses an existential threat to the whole of West Africa, both the Sahel and the coastal states alike. Our most recent data has shown that from January to November 2025, approximately 450 terrorist incidents were recorded across the region, resulting in close to 2,000 deaths. Although the Central Sahel accounted for about 80% of all incidents and over 85% of total fatalities, the whole of West Africa, and indeed the entire African region, remains exposed to the threat.
Well, in response to the escalating threat, Dr. Toure revealed that ECOWAS is fast-tracking the development of its standby force, beginning with 1,650 personnel, with plans to escalate it and scale it up to 5,000 troops through just to support the whole process from member states and international partners. Let's listen to him. We're back with more here on The Pulse.
In addition to the wanton killing of innocent civilians, terrorist groups have adopted a new economic warfare. They have now been restricting the supply and distribution of vital commodities such as petrol. This restriction disrupts regional trade, slows down economic activities, and inflicts serious hardship on the populations. It is in recognition that no one can fight terrorism alone that underpins counterterrorism efforts in the region, especially the drive to accelerate the operationalization and the deployment of ECOWAS's standby force. It is in this context that ECOWAS ministers of defense and finance met recently to agree on the activation of the standby force. The plan is to start with a brigade of 1,650 strong personnel and increase it to 5,000 gradually. The ministers also agreed on funding mechanism that will consist essentially of own resources as well as support from partners and the United Nations under Resolution 2719.
Now let's get some reaction on this. We have security lecturer at Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Training Center, Dr. Victor Doke, joining us via Zoom. Thank you so much, Doc. We appreciate your time. We've just been hearing from Dr. Toure lament that the widespread mistrust, trust and high level of suspicion really is hindering the fight against terrorism. Now, what factors do you feel is driving this? And what steps should we take, especially as ECOWAS, to restore confidence in our security structure?
Thank you very much. Good day to your listeners. I think, one, mistrust is everywhere. I don't really understand why the head would specifically state mistrust and then not give us an understanding of what has happened in the past, why there's a cause for mistrust. But anyway, that's another topic for discussion another day. The issue about mistrust is just because we lack the interstate collaboration to fight this menace. You mentioned no state can fight this alone. Yes, I agree. However, as a body mandated with all those beautiful protocols it has, okay, with regards to democratic practices, and whatnot. What have they done when it came to issues about corruption, when it came to issues about the unconstitutional things with regards to manipulation of constitutions so leaders can what? Exceed the term limit. What did he do? When it picked up the early warning signals with regards to military coups, okay, in Mali, Niger, Burkina, what did ECOWAS do? Let's go back to our own backyard in Togo. What is ECOWAS doing apart from issuing the statements? Now, all these things give reasons why states would not want to trust the body or even trust other nations with regards to the fight against terrorism, with the fight against corruption, or any other aspect which is constituting or being a factor to the instability that we are facing in the region. So I think to build trust, there's a lot of things that the body needs to do. One, we can start with the operationalization of the standby force. At what stage is it now? Nations are supposed to contribute. Bear in mind, the same nations are facing their domestic problems. So how do we expect them to what? Be very effective in contributing. And he mentioned the aspect of collaborating with partners. We cannot do away with our partners in as much as we want to solve African problems with African solutions. We always need a partner. However, how do we ensure that we do not now become solely dependent on the partners if the standby force is operationalized? Okay? All the discussions with regards to nation states or member states contributing to the troops, operationalization, equipment, whatnot, where they have to be based, equipment to be based, and all of it is in the blueprint, which is called. But one without resources, this will not happen. Two, interstate collaboration is very essential. When the standby force is operationalized, and then the mandate for it, which was established, is fulfilled, people will begin to what? Have trust in the system. Now, the aspect of governance and democracy. This institution has to be very vocal. We just witnessed African states, Cameroon, who had its president go another term again. What is ECOWAS doing about it? Even the AU. We've had Cote d'Ivoire. All of these are signs, and I don't think as a nation or as a body, we say don't or we are not concerned about what is happening. So until all these things are addressed, the organization will be handicapped in terms of enforcement of its own regulations. Okay? With regards to terrorism, it is spreading very, very fast. We've had, incidents in Togo, northern part of Togo. Let's not even talk about Burkina Faso or Mali or Niger. Okay? Nigeria, the northern part, what is happening with regards to the armed groups over there? Our own very security is what under threat because we are neighbors. So all of these things put together, until the standby force is operationalized to deal with these issues, especially the aspect of armed groups and terrorism, nations or member states will still not trust that this menace is going to go away.
And then I'm just wondering, let's bring this story home really. For us as a country in Ghana, how do you propose we deal decisively with the fight against terrorism? We're hearing of pockets of cases in neighboring countries like Ghana, like Nigeria, and we're wondering how best we can protect our borders, especially because there are concerns about the spilling effect.
I think we have started something which is good with regards to enforcing, our intelligence. It's very key. you have to invest heavily on the intelligence aspect. Now, apart from that, our inter-state collaboration and coordination has been very apt with regards to Burkina Faso collaborating with them, sharing information. It's unfortunate the Accra initiative is somewhat not effective with the exit of these 3 member states. How do we go on from there? How do we make use of the fusion centers now? That will be essential in our intelligence gathering. Equipping the armed forces is very key, not only in the aspect of recruitment, but logistics and technology. Because as of now, we are grappling with the aspect of galamsey here in our very own backyard. Without factoring or investing in technology against this menace, but our approach has been wrong. And we've seen the challenges with regards to that. It is high time we talk about technology and invest heavily in every aspect. If we are to be ahead of any armed element with regards to threat. Now, domestic governance issues. How do we fight against the corruption that has riddled our institutions? How do we ensure that justice is served? We tackle root causes of insecurity. Tackle all root causes of what? These ethnic and intra-ethnic conflicts we are having. Conflicts over our resources, conflict over what? Chieftaincy. Because these are conduits for armed elements to take advantage of. And we've seen how foreign nationals have come into the country and engaged in illegal activity, in possession of what? Illegal weapons. And let me come back to that. I mean, just yesterday, there was the aspect of where the Interior Minister, the amnesty, that should tell us the number of illegal weapons in the system. Okay? We don't have data. We don't have any mechanism to control. So we are hoping that this amnesty will yield some positive results. Some of us have our doubts, but
what are your doubts, really?
That they will yield. When you're talking about an amnesty, where the youth bulge is so real, the youth have a need and wants that have not been met, and the only means they know now is to acquire a weapon in the name of self-defense, but use it to perpetrate crime. We don't have a holistic approach to those who have registered, obtained licenses, but their licenses have expired and haven't gone for renewal. What are we doing to them? We haven't tackled all these approaches. And you look at the conflict-prone areas where the proliferation of small arms and light weapons is rampant. So how do you expect those youths to surrender their weapons when the only language they know is to get the weapon, okay, and fight for the survival of their what? Ethnic group, national rights? These are things that we need to solve before holistically look at an amnesty. In my personal opinion, however, I am optimistic that something may come up. Other than that, we need to come back and then address the issues well before. These are some of the issues that we need to look at before holistically we talk about anything else.
Thank you so much, Doc. We appreciate your time here on The Pulse. Well, you're still watching The Pulse. We'll be back after this quick turn. Please stay with us.